which I don't know how much of that is true or not. But with these two signings, to me, the big three are doing big things, and they're here to stay.
Yeah, I love the big three concept that Ice Cube has put together. I mean, the games, it's an entertaining product. It's something that goes very quick. It's a very fan-friendly and family-friendly atmosphere when it comes to these games. And what I love about it is the competitiveness of these former NBA players. And now you're adding a guy in Baron Davis into the mix who will make a great addition to the Big Three brand. And Ice Cube, I think what I love about what Ice Cube has done with it, he's taken this very seriously and really thought about the concept of what a 3-on-3 basketball, not only tournament, but games and traveling and what all of this looks like. So I'm excited for the second season. I didn't get a chance to attend the game this past summer when they had the games this past summer at the American Airlines Center down here in Dallas, but watching it on TV, they have a very entertaining brand. Gus Johnson does some of does the commentary on Fox Sports 1 for the Big Three, and I love what they do as an entertainment product. So, credit to Ice Cube for bringing this to life and the concept of bringing it to life, because who doesn't enjoy a good 3-on-3 basketball game? Right. And now you throw in legends and some players who are still trying to get back into the league, some who are just playing for the fun of it and the competitive nature of the game of the Big Three. Now you add Baron Davis to a very star-studded Big Three with Allen Iverson and others that are a part of this league, Al Harrington and others. It should be a fun second season for the Big Three, so I'm excited to see what they do going into next summer.
I am too, and I definitely want to try to go to one of the games. I filed for a media credential. They reached out and they said no. So maybe I'm going to try again. Maybe I'll find somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to hopefully get in the building, because I definitely want to try to go to a game this upcoming summer. So I'm going to bring up a name that you guys all know very well, LeVar Ball. He has been in the news again this week, but to me, for a very interesting reason and also a great idea. So it came out this week that he wants to start a junior basketball league. I don't know if it's going to be called the Triple B League, but it's a hell of an idea. So he plans to pay lower ranked players $3,000 a month, and then the best $10,000. And this is going to be for nationally ranked players who have graduated from high school but don't want to go to college. This is an amazing idea, because I think people have been wanting to do something like this, but maybe they haven't. Maybe they don't have the guts to do it, but LeVar Ball does. And I think this idea is going to work. I think investors are going to want to flock to it. I think it's definitely going to could possibly hurt the college game, which is already hurt right now with one-and-done players. But LeVar Ball, to me, is about to completely change the game with this idea. I think it's gonna be great. I think LeVar Ball said a lot of things, but this right here is something that he can, I think, definitely move and make something happen.
Yeah, so the league is going to be called the Junior Basketball Association, and of course the logo of the Junior Basketball Association is an outline of Lonzo Ball. So the nepotism continues.
Oh my God.
For the Ball family. Now, if folks listen to my show, the Clutch Talk Sports Radio Live show, they know that I'm here for what most of LeVar Ball has to say and what he has done when it comes to promoting the Triple B, the Big Baller brand, when it comes to LiAngelo, LaMelo, and of course Lonzo, the rookie, for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I do think it was a mistake to pull LiAngelo out of UCLA, even though he may be proven right, because the other two players that were suspended by Steve Alford have been suspended for the remainder of the season by UCLA. So LeVar Ball may have been onto something when he decided to pull LiAngelo out, and subsequently LaMelo, and they'll both be playing in Lithuania to further their basketball careers. But this is an idea that, as you mentioned, is going to potentially shake the very foundations of not only amateur athletics, but the decisions that 18, 19-year-old kids are going to make when they decide whether or not to either go chase some money or if they decide to go play college basketball for some of, obviously, the best universities in the country when it comes to Duke, North Carolina, UCLA, whatever the case may be when it comes to a basketball perspective. So there's many layers to this I think folks need to really start to grasp and understand. And number one being, what about that poor kid who's an 18, 19-year-old kid who's a 5-star recruit, has an opportunity to go make some immediate money to better his situation, his family situation? Does he do that, or does he go on to college, play for a year, and potentially then go on to the NBA to further his career and make multi-millions of dollars? So there's going to be decisions that kids will have to make. But now the fact that there's potentially going to be an option for kids to decide really changes the dynamics potentially of how kids will decide whether or not to go play basketball immediately for a paycheck or go take the delayed gratification of potentially having a successful career in the NBA or getting better as a ball player, playing against better competition in college. So there's several layers, I think, as we start to get the formation and the ideas of what this Junior Basketball Association will look like. Will be, number one, what will the quality of player look like when you have a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds playing against each other when they could be going to college and playing against better competition, more exposure when it comes to the NCAA tournament and the college basketball tournaments that we see during the Christmas holidays and then going into conference play, that type of thing. Also, will these games be televised? Will there be television, rights to be sold for the Junior Basketball Association? Where is, LeVar getting this money from, potentially? Obviously, he's made a lot of noise with his own mouth over the last several months when it comes to dealing with the Big Baller brand. But will he be able to get sponsorships for this particular league? So there's a lot of questions. I think there's still more questions and answers, obviously, to start off for this Junior Basketball Association, but the concept of it, and especially if it's successful, could potentially turn the landscape of college athletics, amateur athletics, professionalism when it comes to basketball careers for young kids, could potentially turn it upside down. So I love the concept of it, and LeVar Ball has the unmitigated gall, the audacity, to quote one Stephen A. Smith, to start this. So kudos to him. And I think the thing that folks accuse, if we're going to accuse LeVar Ball of anything, and that's being a helicopter parent, and if that's the biggest crime that LeVar Ball has committed when it comes to dealing with his sons, then so be it. Because
if that's the worst thing that people have to say,
yes,
then it's nothing bad about that.
Exactly,
it's nothing bad about that.
Yeah,
and I think he's gonna get some type of TV deal. Maybe it may be, all these social media sites or social media apps are vulging into live games and live TV. I bet how much you want to bet YouTube will be in on that. How much you want to bet Yahoo would be in on that. Amazon would be in on that. Facebook, they're even trying to get into that. Apple, the opportunities are endless. Will it be on TV One or Fox Sports 1 or something like that? Maybe not, but I think he's got an area here where he found a loophole where nobody has tapped into.
Yeah. And
to me, that's an entrepreneur right there, doing something where nobody else has done, and you can find your own niche. So, Antonio Wilborn says, "In LeVar we trust," and he's a Lakers fan, so that I get that comment from him.
Yeah.
Also, Jelani JB Bodie at the Wait a Minute Show, he says ears on, so appreciate you for tuning in. Everybody out there, appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's the BS3 Sports Show. In studio guest Kevin Gray. So, Dana White, Floyd Mayweather. Are in the news again.
Yeah, Dana White and Floyd Mayweather are working on a deal to bring Floyd Mayweather into the fold for the UFC. Now, if y'all follow my Twitter account, I told Floyd he need to go sit down somewhere. Floyd obviously had his fight with Conor McGregor earlier this year, and both of them were handsomely paid for their night's work. Conor McGregor making nearly $100 million, Floyd doing what he does, making over $100 million for that fight. But now Dana White is working on a deal to potentially bring Floyd Mayweather into the fold. And it's just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea all the way around. And I don't think it's something that will commensurate itself into anything where Floyd Mayweather gets inside of the octagon. But you never know. We never thought Conor McGregor would get inside of a boxing ring. Right. But yet,
yeah, I think this is something where Mayweather wants to get into maybe ownership or maybe promoting fighters. And Big L says Floyd getting money. He's trying to get that bag. He's trying to upgrade his bag because he's already a millionaire, probably close to being $1 billion possibly. Shout out to Chief Rocka in the chat room.
Chief Rocka.
Cabal, he says, man, F that fake fighting. Are you Guess who stepped in the room? Cabal, you definitely, when you step in the room, you drop some comments for real. But I think Dana White and Mayweather are maybe getting into a deal where they can co-own it, or Mayweather's not trying to get in the ring, which to me, anybody who would have think that would be the dumbest thing he could do, and he doesn't need to do that. He can make more money in boxing. So I think he's wanting to get some type of deal where he can own part ownership, maybe even manage somebody or whatever it may be. But I think, and Mayweather declines that he's not trying to get involved, but I think if Mayweather wants to get into some type of ownership or doing something like that, I think that part is a good idea. Him trying to get into the octagon obviously is not a good idea. He knows that. Everybody else knows that. But it's an interesting story that came out. Mayweather seems to be in the news at least once or twice a month because I don't think he cannot be in the news. And I think he cannot be in the limelight. He says he's going to be away from not fighting, which is true. But he's going to promote fighters. He's going to be involved in fighting somehow. He's got a strip club somewhere where he's promoting frequently on social media. But I don't know what the end goal is, but I think it's an intriguing story so far.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, obviously this is a money-driven thing again, as it is with Floyd and Conor all the time. But apparently, according to the New York Daily News, Joe Rogan, who does the UFC commentary for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, talked about it with Dana White, and Dana White's like, yeah, Floyd legitimately wants to get into the octagon with Conor McGregor. No. And obviously the banter between them back and forth was interesting to say the least when they had their press tour. But Floyd, as you mentioned, Floyd loves Floyd and loves staying in the news. And this is another opportunity for him to stay in the news. But there is no situation on God's green earth where Floyd Mayweather Jr. should ever decide to get into an octagon with a pro MMA fighter on their own terms. Floyd is a tremendous boxer, and he needs to stay out of the octagon and not put himself anywhere near. And a lot of UFC fighters, including Demetrius Johnson, have welcomed the opportunity to punch Floyd in the face. So there's not a short list when it comes to those who want to welcome Floyd Mayweather Jr. into an octagon, and the list is quite long on professional face punchers who want to put a hurting on Floyd Mayweather Jr. But it's just a bad idea all around. I think this is more bluster than anything else to drum up news, because that was obviously one of the biggest storylines in sports in 2017 was Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor and them actually getting inside of a boxing ring.
Right. It was great TV. It was a soap opera.
Yes.
I mean, the numbers were huge. It was, in the words of Donald Trump, it was huge. It was the numbers were big, right below the Mayweather Pacquiao. So I think they got what they wanted out of that. But we'll see where this goes. It could go nowhere. It could go somewhere. But I guarantee you we'll hear about this in the next couple of weeks, probably the next couple of weeks after that. The most interesting thing out of all of this is we have not seen